What's up, guys, and welcome to Movie Emporium's Flashback Reviews, where I take movies from the past, break them down, and tell you what I think about them. If you like what you see, of course, hit the subscribe button, join Movie Emporium, hit the notification bell at the top to find out what's coming next, and of course, comment below on any video that you watch on my channel. So, we're smack dab in the middle of Halloween. We're actually coming up on Halloween in about 10 days from now. I've already talked about Saw, and I've already talked about Scream, two classic horror films. What I wanted to do instead of doing another horror film is I wanted to talk about a kids movie or an animated, what I consider classic family film, and that of course is based off 1972's Ray Bradbury novel The Halloween Tree. And The Halloween Tree it's a pretty simple story, but it's pretty ingenious with what Ray Bradbury is doing. You know, Ray Bradbury has done stuff like Fahrenheit 451, and he has done stuff like Something Wicked This Way Comes. And the fact that he's doing a kids novel is really, really fascinating. And basically the story is this: these five characters, or these five kids, every Halloween they go dressed as whatever character they go dressed as we did when we were kids, and they go have fun, they get candy, they celebrate what is Halloween to them. But in the process, they don't know basically what they're dressing up as we do. You know, we dress up as skeletons or mummies or, you know, werewolves or whatever, witches, but we really don't understand the culture of behind the ideas of these costumes and these, you know, what we're representing. But this one Halloween in Midtown or Midwest, wherever USA, these four kids are getting ready to celebrate Halloween, and they're waiting for their leader, who is this character named Pip, and he hasn't shown up. They don't know what's going on, and then they go to his house and they find out he has appendicitis, and we know what happens with appendicitis. You have to go to the hospital, get, you know, taken out. Well, they see what looks to be like Pip down in a ravine, and they go chasing after him, and it's the spirit of Pip. It's like the ghostly form of his character. And why is this like this? Why is he doing this? And they end up, after biking the chase after Pip, they end up at this house of this character named Moundshroud, who's played deliciously by Leonard Nemoy, who is doing some fantastic work here. It's almost like, it's almost just perfect to watch, you know, how good he really is in this role. He's having fun, he's dark, he's scary, but he's also educational with what he's telling these kids, but he has a purpose. And so when they get to this house, they find this big tree and it's full of pumpkins. And Moundshroud basically explains to them that these pumpkins are almost souls of people who have either passed on or are getting ready to pass on. And he's almost like the collector, if you want to put it in that respect, of these pumpkins, and maybe transitioning his souls. Maybe he's death or something like that. It's not really like told, but you kind of get the gist that maybe he's like the soul collector, the soul reaper, moving people on to another, you know, another life or whatever. But in the process, and they look up and they see Pip's pumpkin. Well, as we know with these pumpkins, that's not necessarily a good sign. That means he didn't survive the surgery for his appendicitis. So Pip, in his spirit form, goes up to save his pumpkin and disappears into the ether, or the wherever he disappears to. This really makes Moundshroud upset, and he offers a deal to these kids that if they go and basically rescue the pumpkin, he will let Pip live. But he's gonna do it and teach them a educational lesson about why they're dressed as the way they are. And that's where we get our story of these characters going to ancient Egypt, going to Stonehenge, going to Notre Dame, and, you know, Paris, France, then going to eventually Mexico. But those stories, those ideas of what we're seeing, we're also learning lessons about how cultures basically celebrate Halloween. You know, Egypt, they bring out their old dead, you know, their family members who are dead, and they basically celebrate with them. You know, the Celtic culture in Stonehenge, we learn about kind of the history of witches, which are a learned culture. They're not what you think they are, which, you know, the brooms and, you know, eating children and magic and all that stuff. They were just a group of people that, because of the Dark Ages, knew a lot of stuff, knew the stuff about history, and they, because of that, people thought that was magic, and, you know, because people weren't learned at the time. And then of course we go to Notre Dame and we learn about like the, you know, gothic nature of Halloween. They climb Notre Dame, they fly some gargoyles. It's really fun to watch. It's really cool to watch. And then of course we go to Mexico, where we learn about the Day of the Dead and all that good stuff. And these different places they go to, they have to find Pip and rescue him, but he keeps evading them until they get to Mexico, when the whole situation plays out. But it's a very unique story structure because you're really learning something about these cultures. This is stuff that I don't know if Ray Bradbury he knew about these cultures and he was very learned, but if he wasn't, he put a lot of work and effort into giving us a lesson. I mean, I read this book when I was in school, and there's a reason for that because it's telling you about cultural history and it's doing it in the form of children's story, which is awesome. Of course, with stuff like The Grapes of Wrath and Of Mice and Men, all these stories. This one just really kind of stuck with me and I just couldn't put it down. I love the story of just this idea of what cultural relevancy is in the Halloween spirit. And it's fun to see these kids kind of get a gist of what's going on as well as trying to save their friend Pip. But we get to the end of the story, and Pip has been finally rescued, but Mountroud basically tricks them, and in the process, the four kids who are still alive offer Mountroud a year of their life, in essence, to save Pip. And it's that gesture of love, of faith, of people wanting to be there for their friend really touches Mountroud, and he accepts, and of course, Pip lives as he should. And it's an amazing tale. I mean, this movie's only like an hour and 5 minutes long or an hour and 10 minutes long, but it does so much with the material. And then we get Ray Bradbury as the narrator of this movie. So the way he speaks, the way he talks, it's like very soothing, very just like very learned. The way it's just beautiful to listen to, and it gives it a nice resonance. When it gets scary, Ray Bradbury's tone changes to scary. When it becomes hopeful, it changes to hopeful. It's kind of like Gene Shepherd in A Christmas Story, where you get this narrator who is basically the story author, and they were able to give you kind of a coda or kind of a feel by feel basis based on what's going on, and it's just perfect and it's just fun to watch. And all these characters, all these actors that are playing these characters, they really haven't done anything afterwards, but you really get a feel that they are friends, that they have had a past together, that they'll have a future together. May they won't move on, and may they'll move on to different places. But kind of like Stand By Me, it's a story about a group of kids that have this moment to do this thing, to play like this, and it makes a stronger bond for these characters. And it's a fantastic movie. Like I said, it's not the most colorful, most Pixar looking movie, but Hanna-Barbera had a style. If you ever watch Scooby-Doo and you see like the dark nature of those stories, that's exactly what's going on here. Like the Jetsons, they have a simple style to it, but it's an effective style. The mood and settings of these different places they go to, it's a really brilliant look at the cultures, but they do it so simply that it's almost easy to understand, even though it's a complex tale of different worlds and different societies, and is very prescient with how we are trying to treat the world today, which is equalization of everybody. But it's a movie, like I said, I grew up loving. I grew up watching. Like I said, I've watched this ever since I was in high school, or no, I'm sorry, ever since I was in elementary school. It's a movie I watch every year, and it's a movie that just does so much in this short amount of time. And John Debney's score is just brilliant. It's a score that just plays on the tones and the feel of the story that's being played out. And when you get the beat by beat motions of like the wind instruments and the cellos and the drums and so on and so forth, it really gives you an atmosphere that really feels like Halloween. This is one of those movies that is really Halloween to me, where it has a feel and a tone that is any time, any place in the United States. This could be the 1970s, it could be the 80s, it could be the 90s, it could be today, and it all feels the same. There's no real technology, but you really could feel like you could live in this world. And the fact that they're celebrating Halloween and they're doing such an old-fashioned tradition, it's kind of like why I like Trick or Treat so much, because there's a old feeling fashion just feel to the movie, and that's just what's so great about it. But you know what, it's a movie that not a lot of people have heard of, which is really surprising, but it's a movie that has a lot of heart and a lot of just compassion, and a group of kids that are just fantastic, and has a great antithesis and a great protagonist and antagonist in the character played by Leonard Nemoy, who, like I said, plays Maltrout. But it's just a fantastic story. It's a fantastic movie, and it's something I recommend if you haven't seen it. It's a great Halloween movie. I wouldn't recommend letting kids watch it maybe until they get to like 7 or 8 years old, because it does get scary. It's very dark in some places, but the lessons it's teaching is very important to teach kids how to respect cultures. And for a guy who did stuff, like I said, like Something the Wicked This Way Comes, it's a great story, and it's a fun book if you get a chance to read it. It's not very long, but it's also a great book as well. So, but that's my take on the Halloween Tree. Like I said, it's a classic to me. I watch it every year. I just watched it probably twice this month already, just to kind of do this video. But yeah, there you go. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen this movie or read the book. Tell me what your favorite part is. But otherwise, that'll do it. Hit the subscribe button, join Movie Emporium, hit the notification bell at the top to find out what's coming next, and of course, comment below on any video that you watch on my channel. Otherwise, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for checking out Movie Emporium. I really appreciate it. If you want to, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification button and the bell at the top. Find out what's coming next for Movie Emporium. Also, check out these 2 videos. They're amazing. I think they're awesome. I think you'll enjoy them too. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.